Okay. Hell, you know what, son? Now, no introduction. Hello, folks. I'm gonna be following the outline as I prepared it. Let's see. Yep. Got everything all in order. Okay, so we'll probably be fraying nothing but action this part. Just action for 20 minutes. Good night. There's Sinclair. What, sir? Your ass. You, no matter what that limb costs, I'll pay for it. I'll apply it. Even if it's $1 million. Thanks, sir. Choke. And it was... the choking was from sadness, not his pain. He was all misty-eyed in that moment. Give him hell, Sinclair said. Then, who's he fighting again? Let's see. When Arlen rejoined the fight, he found the JMG gunner had died. He was still manning his MG in a way, right, with a bullet through his neck and brain, skull. He was in no condition to pull the trigger. Alan recalled times when gunners had been killed manning their weapons, and they still got off a final few bursts thanks to their trigger fingers still pressing the trigger even after death. Sometimes those dead gunners manage to empty their mags. It's like as though engaging in one last act of defiance to their killers. Alan squeezed off 2 bursts. The death of the gunner didn't mean the area ahead was clear. Jade rifleman kept aiming out from cover of crates, squeezing off shots. Arlen aimed at one fellow with some semi-auto rifle, put 2 rounds through his right shoulder, sprayed blood all over the wall, the crate behind him, and tumbled into the open with a wolfish shriek. Yelp. Sprawled out on the ground, he reached for his sidearm in a belt holster on his belt. 2 more shots from Arlen, and he slumped backwards, features blank, staring up at the night. Several flares were fired up, Arlen up to provide some illumination through the area. Arlen wasn't sure if it was the Jade or his side, but they illuminated quite a few people. Jade scurrying about the darkened parts of a head. 5 and 10 meter out, B yelled, "Rifleman in the open." "I see him," Arlen muttered. Squeezed off 6 shots with his M1 rifle. I'm reading Lord of the Rings in my personal time, you know. Gotta read the works that span the test of time, you know. And I'm still at the beginning, but it's all about the hobbits and not much else. Those evil riders, all in black, showed up a few times. That's it so far. No one's been killed. It's kind of like a world war is going on in the background, though. But you know, unless it's on screen, it might as well not be happening. That's some writers' philosophy, you know, and that's kind of almost my philosophy. I wonder how they're going to do how the battle sequences are in the books versus the films. Films have a lot of good battles in them. Although it still kind of ended with a silver bullet kind of ending, even though everybody fought like demons to get to that point. You couldn't get rid of Hitler and his armies by just tossing some ring in a volcano. They had to. It was a long and very bloody battle of attrition. He nailed one jade through the abdomen. The man and the fellow spun about after being hit, collapsing dead on his back. Another fellow got hit through the left shoulder and collapsed to the ground quick, like he had a heart attack. He tripped over something. He got killed soon after by a tossed grenade. After Ireland reloaded, he exchanged shots with two other riflemen, both of whom lost the fight, taking rounds to their chests, armor-clad chests. Some jade in a mesh balaclava instead of a gas mask showed up next, squeezing off bursts with an SMG from the hip. Don't hit him the next 3 shots right in a row. Fellow died reluctantly, dropping forward on his knees, trying to raise that SMG back up to fire, then collapsing. One thing I like about video games, you get to see the fight. It's not like it all happens off screen somewhere. And then you cut back and it's all over. Let's see, mortars started falling. I already did the mortars. A group of Jade, squad size group of Jade, retreated when a friendly tank man showed up. Gorilla tank man. I should know gorilla tank. Friendly tank man. Because, you know, it could have been like friendly to them. The 2 mounted MG-42s about the arms. Tank man squeezed off 2 seemingly endless volleys. Ripped up a good half of those enemy as he advanced. Ireland didn't know if it was the same tank man from earlier. Ireland pushed up adjacent to the tank man. The one that survived the rocket attack. Adjacent to the tank man. Now wielding 4 weapons again. He exchanged shots. Another group of Jade, and they all went down in a heap. Everyone were loaded, and a few Jade in armor suits showed up. They were wielding the equivalent of the Jade GA-46 armor armor suit, which was their equivalent of the Jade, the Bloodcan P-34 armor suit. Ireland's own armor suit, somewhere between. It was more advanced and protective than the P-34. As you know, the distinction again, JA-46. Equivalent to of P-34. Let's see, more advanced and protected than the P-34. But not by much. Ireland never saw a man in one of those JA-46s survive what? Who's the main character of this damn story? I'm not sure. I'm not sure of my other story. I guess it's an ensemble cast with rotating protagonists here and there. Sometimes a person's a protagonist for like one chapter, and sometimes there's a lot of different points of view, so you know. This one, I guess it's either Arlen or Dee or Dominique or Belle. Shit, that's 4 main characters, separate, usually separate. Well, figure it. Well, you know how wars are. There's really no one person who can take credit for a war, for winning a war or failing a war, and so on. One person can start a war, but you know, I don't think one person can end a war. Maybe that should be quoted in one of these stories. Sound survive. What a P-34. Survive much more than what a P-34 could. They went down in a hail of 9mm or bullets. And we saw JI-46s go down in a hail of 9mm bullets. So anything stronger than that would definitely kill them. They didn't protect much from shrapnel either. One of the P-30, well, the Jade armors, the president got taken out by shrapnel. Soon after he appeared, he dropped in the aftermath of a grenade explosion and going off about 5 meters away, well within the killing radius. The killing radius is of that type, a Mills bomb. Mills bomb being the standard grenade of the British in World War II. I keep forgetting if you capitalize the bomb. I'm not sure why it's called a bomb instead of a grenade. Sometimes the British are kind of strange with how they name things. So they call jelly beans jelly babies. It's like, ugh. Who would want to eat a jelly baby? A baby made of jelly. It was oozing blood. That armored man was in a sitting position after he fell back against a big crate. Tall, oddly coffin-shaped crate. Might have actually been a coffin. Might have been coffins in there, for all Ireland knew. With blood oozing out of various wounds. It looked like a man who had been stabbed vigorously with some swords. I wonder if my uncle's making corned beef for St. Valentine's Day. No, wait, not St. Valentine's Day. What's this? What's this today? St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, that's right. St. Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. I see people getting confused. I get people confused all the time. Let's see. The other armored suit, wielding an SMG, E1 SMG from the hip, with a Tommy gun-like drum. Didn't last much longer. I will imagine the fellow was in a lot of pain. Pain till some stray round caught him about the head. His armored mask going clean through it, the face beyond, and out the back into the coffin-shaped crate. The guy lurched dead on his side. No one saw the nasty black cigarette burn like hole through the crate. No blood about the hole, oddly enough. Like it wasn't a drop of blood in the man's skull. Perhaps most of it had leaked out his legs by that time. Now there still should have been a bit of brain. A death should be very viscera. I think I would make it illegal in a movie to do like to not show the consequences of violence. Like when someone gets shot, you gotta show them bleed. You gotta show wounds. That's why I think you should see. I mean, it shouldn't be like a video game where, like all the old like most of the early World War II games, like Call of Duty, the original one from like 2004. No blood. No blood. Bloodiest war in history, but no blood. Nobody leaks any blood when they die. It's all bloodless. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. Does that mean the same thing twice? Ridiculous and absurd? Yeah, I think so. I probably said that in some story. Let's see. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was watching that Skyscraper movie yesterday. The one with The Rock, and there's like a dozen people get gunned down in a room with all bullets flying everywhere. Like they're getting hit dozens of times, not a drop of blood anywhere. Like Chinese people don't have blood in them or something. That's kind of alt history. Maybe they should make it so that they make the blood blue in a movie. Just have like human blood be blue. Then you can show them bleeding all you want, right? Like in that Guardians of the Galaxy movie where the guy at the intro had blue blood. They showed him blue blood so that they got away with showing blood in a movie. Like lots of blood. I'm not sure what the threshold is when they rate a movie, how much blood you can show. Let's see. Gunfire. The armored man got off a few dozen rounds before 2 rounds caught him about the right pectoral. And as he stumbled forward, he ended up right in the path of dozens of Arlen's bullets, including rounds from the BAR, which sent him flying backwards to lay limp on the ground, looking like some fallen knight, except with a much more modern gun. No one thought of Bearing Hill Hall, currently under Jade, his home, Bearing Hill Hall, and Bearing Hill, pretty much the Shire, at least as I picture it. You know, a nice, beautiful hometown of the heroes, and they go off and fight in a hellish place. That's definitely the Great War story, you know. Come from a nice part of the world and go and fight and die in the trenches, all nightmarish and hell-like. Definitely the inspiration for the Lord of the Rings. Less so The Hobbit, I think. I read that book. It's not really, I don't think it's allegory for World War One, but yeah, because there's no battles or anything, and well, some giant spiders get killed, and then there's a battle at the end. But you know, Bilbo missed that because some eagle dropped a rock on his head for some reason. It's annoying. I would have liked to have seen that battle play out. Instead, he got told the details secondhand afterwards. Hopefully, they don't pull that chicanery in the Lord of the Rings when I'm done. By the time I get to that part, where I have to start fighting the forces of darkness, you know? His home. Thought of all those paintings for the house depicting battles. A lot of them quite bloody, and unromantic. All those fallen knights in them, oozing blood. Those dead armored men made him think of those knights. Another armor suit tried to enter the fray, but he was pegged by 30 or so rounds from E1B rifle. And he lurched and he dropped lifelessly to the ground. Soon after he appeared, stepped out of some shadows. Another group of armor suits in the distance were unceremoniously killed off by a rocket fired by one of the guerrillas. A basic RPG type with no nice scope on it. The trio were sent flying in all directions like they weighed nothing, and remarkably stayed in one piece instead of being dismembered. A few Jade soldiers ran to drag the wounded, the armored men to cover. One of them getting killed for his trouble. It was almost a shame to see the enemy die amidst of heroics. But Ireland knew that the enemy were quite brave by nature. Most Jade were not cowards. And those who were cowards found ways to stay away from fights like this. An enemy tank man appeared from off in the distance, wielding 2 MGs of his own and some small rocket launcher on his shoulder. He pressed some unseen trigger to launch the rocket, which fired, it flew off and blew up a bunch of crates behind some guerrillas, showering them with gorillas. Gorillas, not gorillas. I have to remember, I changed the word gorilla, so it wouldn't make sense to have a joke like that. Like, you say gorillas are coming? No, gorillas, as in rebels. Rebel scum. Showering them with wooden pieces, but leaving them uninjured otherwise. Time with wooden pieces, shrapnel, chips, leaving them uninjured. There was no second rocket to fire, so the tank man let it loose, cut loose with his twin MGs, firing what seemed like 500 rounds in about half a minute. Good thing the orcs in Lord of the Rings don't have rifles and machine guns. Anyway, folks, have a nice day. See ya.